Okay, so this is an older project of mine, one that I haven't worked on in a while. Sort of put it on hold indefinitely, but I want to get back to it now. So this is originally the Marvel Legends Bath Lizard. I first started just modding the figure, so I popped off the tail, and I took the tail from the Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends Lizard, the one with the bendy wire in it. It's got better sculpting on it. If you Dremel out the inside, it just pops right on. And then you still have that range of movement, and then you also have the bendy wire too, which is great. And it looks a lot better than like the janky articulated one from before using hinges. And then I also Dremeled out the knees so that originally it was sitting like that, and it was stuck in that position. There was too much plastic up here, so I Dremeled that out, maybe a little too heavy-handed, because now there's like a really big gap there, and I actually made it sort of loose, so I added some cushioning on the sides. So yeah, but now this ankle joint is able to actually use the double jointed knee, so we could stand straight up, which is cool. The most important thing for me was the face. Before, bro, this looked like a fucking dinosaur. Like, this is what I sculpted over that. I used just a regular epoxy sculpt. I can't remember, let me get the brand. So this is the epoxy that I used. Just a white epoxy sculpt. It's pretty shit. I don't recommend this stuff at all. I would say use green stuff, or literally, I don't know, fucking anything else, like Milliput or anything else. This stuff really does suck. I have to warm up the part A because it's so hard and stiff that I have to warm it up to even be able to mix it with the part B. So yeah, don't recommend this stuff, but I was able to sculpt the head out with it. So I added a nice bridge to the nose. I added these huge eyebrows. I just sort of built up the top of the head, added a little like crocodilian mouth, and then I added some fangs. Yeah, you know, I sort of based this off of the Todd McFarlane style lizard. It's sort of what I was going for, or just even like a more traditional look for the character, because like it was just not, the sculpt before this was just not it. It looked like a dinosaur. I mean, everybody knows that, but. And then I also added in some sculpting on the inside of the mouth, just because before the neck was just poking through there, so when the mouth was fully open, you could see the underside of the neck. Pretty ugly looking joint, and pretty cheap, so I think I used a piece of plastic. Actually, let me take this off, because it's pretty pliable still, surprisingly. So there's the inside of the mouth. Yeah, so I just built it up with more epoxy, drummed it out, added a new tongue. It's held up pretty well. Like, I've had it sort of like this for, I don't know, like a few months now, and it's held up. So yeah, right now we're just going to focus on painting the arms black, and we're going to focus on paint rub, make sure there's no paint rub. And I dismantled all the joints so that I could sand them a lot easier and then put them back on, test for paint rub, pop them off if there's paint rub, and then sand them again. It's going to be a whole process. And I also want to do Cloth Goods jacket. This is the Marvel Legends Beast jacket, and I added a bendy wire inside of it, so you get that extra added articulation. And I'll probably rip it up once I'm done. So yeah, right now we're just going to paint these up black. We're gonna sand them, you know, do all that stuff, and I'll catch you whenever I do that. Okay, so I am in the process of painting these up from white to black. Now that we're switching it to a Cloth Goods coat, the whole undershirt needs to be black, so this will act as the undershirt now underneath the lab coat. I sanded this down, painted it. Now we're going to test for paint rub. This one's on its third coat, a little bit right there, and a little bit. Okay. So you know, this is a process of just going back and forth. I got to sand that down more, paint it again. Eventually, there'll be no paint rub, hopefully. Okay, moment of truth. I have a feeling there's still going to be some paint rub, but we are going to test it anyway. And, oh, fuck. Damn it. There's still so much. Alright, shit, well we gotta go back and do it again. Fuck. I'm gonna sand majority of the paint off on the joint. Pretty much, actually, I'm gonna just sand all of it off because I don't want too much paint buildup. It'll make the joint look clunky and thick. If I just keep caking paint on there, it's just gonna end up peeling up regardless of how well this is sanded, because the paint buildup is so thick, it's gonna get stuck in the joint. Fuck. Oh, that's beautiful. No paint rub. We're gonna get going on the arms now. This took like, I think like 2 hours. So this is probably gonna take quite a while too. Okay, so just wanna show you the stage I'm at right now. I'm slowly getting there, painting the rest of the sleeves black. I'm just testing for paint rub now, because now that I pop the joints into each other, they're going to hit other pieces of the figure. So as I move this arm up and I move it back down, I get some paint rub here, so that has to be sanded. And I think there's a little bit underneath too. You see that? The joints themselves though are pretty decent. There's still slightly a little bit of paint rub, but like the inside's pretty good. Like that one's pretty damn good. Not a lot of paint rub in there. This whole process is just like going back and forth, sanding, painting. It's probably the most boring part of customizing, but really satisfying once you get the joints working well with absolutely no paint rub. And you know, you could work on this for like forever really, just to try to get those joints perfect, but you know, in this case it's going to be underneath the jacket of the costume, so I'm not going to go too crazy, but I am going to give it a really good go. The green's definitely going to get a lot of texturing and cool paint work on it, so we'll get to that at a later date, but for now this is where I'm at. I'm doing the other arm, so that still needs some work in there, but you can see the other side is looking pretty good. Not a lot of paint rub. There's a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, and painting black onto white is super easy too, so you know, if you're just getting into customs, I recommend starting with like a Marvel Legends, not necessarily like a Mafex or even just, I don't know, use a knockoff or something, because you know, when you get into like Mafex, Mezco, SHF, that sort of stuff, figures obviously get really expensive, so just start with something simple. Yeah, anyway, sand that down maybe a little bit more, give it another paint job, and then try to get it to that point when there's like no paint rub. Yeah. Okay, so I have dealt with all the paint rub on the arms and then gave it a nice matte black finish. But this is sort of the idea of how I want the green to look. This is fully painted compared to this piece. You could really see the difference there. So basically I just went over the green areas with Warpstone Glow, and I just dry brushed that on kind of heavy to give it a sort of bright green look. And then I gave it a light dry brush of the Layer Flash Gits Yellow, also from Citadel. Yeah, I just really lightly dry brushed that yellow over it, just to make the colors pop a little bit more and the scales pop a lot more. So that's what we're going to do with the other arm now. Go over all those cuts and creases with the same exact paint method. And then I may give the black itself just a very dark gray dry brush, and then in turn I'll also have to go over the sort of shirt overlay with that same dry brush. So the arms are completed. I gave them like a very light gray dry brush over the black, just to bring out some more of the details, to make it look more tattered. So the next step hopefully should be pretty easy. I gave the torso just a light sand. Because the top of the torso is just an overlay piece like that, it should be relatively easy to just paint my Citadel colors over top of just the areas that need it here. All these sort of scaly areas get that green and then that really light yellow dry brush over top of it. So I'm going to do that now and then put the overlay on top of that. Give this the light gray dry brush as well. Assemble the arms and hopefully everything should work in tandem with each other and look pretty good. Okay, so here's the shirt fully assembled. I used some Ultra Gel, super glue, doesn't really matter. I used super glue to glue this together. And I gave it that dry brush and all the other dry brushing on the inside where the green is. Pop the arms on, paint rub free for the most part, and that looks pretty damn good. Paint matches up. No visible paint rub that I can see anyway. Hopefully that doesn't change over time. But yeah, I'm liking that. It looks cool. I guess we'll throw on the lab coat real quick and just see how that looks. What I'm thinking I'm going to do actually before I get the coat on, I'll show you. I'm thinking of putting a lot of kind of weathering and damage to this coat, but I want to match up the cuts to where the cuts are on the actual figure. That way, you know, you can see like the lizard scales coming through and all that cool texturing and detail comes through the jacket as well. And next we're going to tackle the legs. We're going to do probably a light purple dry brush over that. Maybe base coat them too. Not sure exactly how I'm going to tackle those, but we're just kind of figuring it out as we go. So yeah, we're just going to keep going and see how this turns out. Oh yeah, I gotta put this coat on. I'll show you how that looks in a second. Doesn't look like much right now, but there's the coat on the figure. I think I'm gonna have it come up to like right about there. That looks pretty good to me. And I'm just gonna probably slice that and then re-stitch it a little bit and just add some, you know, tattering and sort of ripping of the fabric there too. And obviously, you know, there's a bendy wire in this now, so you can move this around freely. Yeah, should look pretty cool. I'm getting more and more excited about this as it's slowly coming along. So, the stage we're at now. I'm gonna paint these pants purple. I'm gonna have to deal with the paint rub on the joints again. I don't think it'll be too bad this time because the color I'm going off of is like it's a similar purple rather than going from literally white to black. So this should be an easier color match. So I'm gonna go for that now. See how it goes. Yeah, let's do it. So real quick, I wanted to come in and explain a few things that I did not explain in the process of making this video. So this is me just basing in kind of a darker purple color over top of the legs, and then I use this Castellian green, which is very similar to the green that Hasbro used to mold this figure. And then I just came in and, you know, did that silver buckle after I did a lighter purple color over the top of the pants. I also did the same for the legs after popping the legs off, and then I gave them a light dry brush of a mixture of purple, white, and brown, just to sort of dirty them up and add some more texture and detail, bring out the sculpt a little bit more. I started doing the green method that I came up with. First the Castellian green color, and then that sort of brighter green, and then the light yellow over top of all the scaly areas that were showing through the pants. Okay, we've made some progress with the base body. I painted up the purple pants and did some of the rips going through the pants. These all came out pretty good. Obviously, I accounted for the paint rub, sanded up, painted up the thighs and whatever scratched. My biggest issue right now are the knee joints. Doesn't look the worst on camera, but paint job's kind of rough, and it's hard to. It's the way I dremeled these bits out. It's hard to tell where the lizard skin of the figure meets the fabric of the purple pants, and it looks okay from the back. Just like, you know, the rips are supposed to be just at the knees, and then when it's folded up like this, it looks fine. But because of the way I dremeled it out too, but when it's fully extended, this portion looks okay because you could still see. Let me get my light going. You could still see that there's skin that meets the pants underneath here, so that looks all right. I'm okay with that. But on the left side, or I guess the figure's right side, there's like not as much definition from where the skin meets the pants, so I don't know. I gotta go back and fix that. Also, I am getting a little bit of paint rub, like right here. There's like a slight little bit. I don't even know if you could see it on camera. So I'm gonna go back, and the paint job's a little rough too at these knees, so I'm gonna go back and fix that up now. I have to go back and do the lower legs, just finish up the paint job like I did on the forearms and the wrists. Hoping it comes out well. We'll see. I don't know, right? I don't know, but we're gonna try. Okay, so pretty much completed a full leg. All the joints work, no paint rub, including the ankle joint, which is pretty easy to paint because it's green color. Painting a green color over a green color, sanding it, just using the Dremel. No real issues, so that's good. I'm gonna do the toenails for this, and then I'm gonna just do some touch-ups because, you know, there was a few areas where the green spilled into the purple. I think I'm gonna go with like a kind of like an eggshell sort of color. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try something out. These are always the fun details to do, like these little ones like this. Like even when I put in this little silver buckle on the pants, doing little details like that adds so much to the figure. Yeah, I love doing small details like that. Like once I paint these nails, this thing's gonna look completely different in my eyes. So yeah, we're gonna get to it now. here it is. The body is complete. We're just going to do the tail now, which shouldn't take too much time. Just got to give it a quick sand, and then the paint treatment that I did here with the green, it's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with it. No paint rub, all the joints work well. And yeah, good stuff. Okay, so the body is completely finished. Heads, oh my god, let's try that again. So now that the body's finished, I've decided to go ahead and spray it with Mr. Super Clear. This is my first time using this product. I've heard it's really, really good. Not readily available in Canada. Like, you cannot find this fucking thing anywhere. Regardless, it's here. I found it, so I'm gonna try it out. So we're gonna let this sit for about an hour or so. I'm gonna come back, bend all the joints, spray those just to hit all the spots where I painted on the inside. And then, I don't know, maybe just give it another coat after that. So with the body finished, it was then time to complete the project with the coat. The coat was relatively simple. I just kept sort of putting it on, taking it off the figure, to making sure all the cuts on the coat matched up with the cuts on the figure. Teared off the sleeves just to shorten them a bit, and then I used a heat knife to melt the coat and put those little tiny tears in it, which was really effective, actually, like a lot more effective than I thought it would be, which is great. And then I went ahead and painted the coat with just a mixture of grays and browns and white, just to kind of make it all dirty and weathered and tattered up. And then finally I painted the head sculpt, which was a lot easier actually than I thought it would be. Kind of hard to film because I have to get so close to paint the teeth and the eyeballs and everything, but I painted the inside of the mouth with a series of pinks and reds and a bunch of red washes and pink washes and some purple for the tongue, and then I painted all the teeth individually, and then I just did my green method on the neck and the head that I did for the whole body. Before I show you the final product, I just want to thank you for watching this whole video. Even if you just skip to the end to see the final product, I appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you're inclined to subscribe, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button.